Welcome to IAYTD and welcome to Names in Games, where we look at some of the biggest names in game development so that you can become familiar with who they are and what their games might entail. Today we're looking at the French creator David Cage, whose actual name is David Degrootola. His career actually began in other creative fields that weren't gaming related, including music and sound production. He even composed the soundtrack for Time Cop in 1995. He then went on to found a video game company called Quantic Dream, which has been creating games since 1997. What made these games unique is that they were focused on storytelling and branching narratives, based on player decisions. Their first big success was Fahrenheit, also called Indigo Prophecy, which was a decision-based story about people becoming possessed and killing others in public, in their journey to discover what is happening. Cage's next smash hit was Heavy Rain, which doubled down on the cinematic gameplay experience and tried to create a story with multiple protagonists and no fail state, meaning that a character could die in my playthrough while they lived and maybe save the day in your playthrough.
And of course, all characters can die, so there is no game over in this game. If you don't pay enough attention to your characters or make too many bad choices, you may lose one of your characters, as was the case on Heavy Rain.
This branching storyline meant that the story was incredibly flexible, resulting in a script that was around 2,000 pages, which seems to be the average for these games moving forward. Heavy Rain's story was a murder mystery and your various characters all had a part to play in it. The movie rights to Heavy Rain were purchased by New Line Cinema, but we haven't heard anything recently. Cage and Quantic Dream then took on a project called Beyond Two Souls, and tried to heavily incorporate performance capture by casting two big names, Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe. The gameplay remained mostly the same, focused on choices rather than traditional gameplay. This game featured Ellen Page as a young girl who was able to communicate with and somewhat control a spiritual entity named Aiden, who would swoop through the environment like a poltergeist. The story, which was told out of chronological order, sought to explain how these two characters were connected. While its performance capture was positively regarded, the story itself and the choice to tell it out of order disoriented the players. And now we catch up to Quantic Dream's newest project, called Detroit Become Human. This story echoes back to Heavy Rain's multiple protagonists, each one having some sort of conflict or story involving androids and artificial intelligence. They've also kept up with getting big-name talent and using performance capture, such as including Jesse Williams, famous for his role on Grey's Anatomy. So when we think of David Cage and the games tied to him, they're about choice, and story, and interaction. They're unlike most games out, as there's usually no combat, at least not in the traditional way, and there are often no ways to lose. Instead, when you do something incorrectly, the game branches down a different path. With this interactivity and the level of performance capture, these games are becoming closer to movies that you can control. Because of this, Beyond Two Souls was even showcased at the Tribeca Film Festival, only the second game ever to be showcased there. The opinion on David Cage is pretty divisive though, as some consider his emphasis on storytelling and emotion to be misplaced. Some even say that he's lacking passion and that it's clear that he's a failed filmmaker.
I want to do what I believe in. I want to trust my instinct, and if I'm right, great. If I'm wrong, too bad, but at least I will fail based on my ideas.
What do you think of David Cage games? Do you like this level of storytelling, or do you prefer classic methods of playing games? Stay tuned for more stuff just like this with more names and games. Thanks for watching. Hey there, thanks for watching our video. We have hundreds of other videos just like this. So check out some recommended ones right over here based on what this video is about. Make sure you subscribe because we've got tons of stuff and I would really appreciate it. So check those out and thanks for watching.